So once I'm hiking, I had a bee fly up my nose and then sting me. So Pharaoh won't quit, but neither will God. He is intent on setting his people free. And in the next wonder, the next plague, the next sign that God uses, he uses it not only to show Pharaoh his power, but to remind the Hebrews that he's taking care of them, that he remembers them, that he knows they are there. See, the previous plagues, they probably impacted Israel somehow. They probably impacted them because they were in Egypt. Yes, they were slaves. They were in a terrible circumstance and situation, but they were still in that land. And so if the Nile River turns to blood, that's going to impact them. If there's frogs everywhere, that's going to impact them. If there's gnats buzzing around and biting people or whatever else gnats do, that's going to impact them. But this time, God sends flies on the land of Egypt, except for the part where the Hebrews lived. See, the Hebrews were gathered in an area called Goshen. And in that place, they lived and they dwelled. And then during the day, they would go and work. And then at night, they would go back to their homes. And the flies that God sent into Egypt went everywhere except for Goshen. See, his point was to remind the Hebrews that he saw them, that he loved them, that he cared for them, that he was doing these things for them. Because Pharaoh's hard heart was restricting their ability to be free. But God wasn't going to give up. And he was there for them. Sometimes we need a reminder that God is thinking of us. Even in the midst of trial and suffering, God is with us. He wants to remind us that he knows that we're suffering. He sees our pain. He sees our struggle. And yet he hasn't given up on his plan. And that plan ultimately is for our good. Sometimes we suffer. Sometimes we have pain. Sometimes we struggle in this life because of sin in this world and the sins of others and sometimes our own sin. But God's grace and greatness is bigger than that. His plan and purpose for eternity is bigger than the short sufferings we have in this life. His plan for us in the kingdom of heaven is bigger than the suffering in the kingdoms of this world. God is good, and he knows us, and he loves us.